want to show them and here it comes. Here it comes, New York.
Prepaid collect call from an inmate at New York State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision.
Hopefully you're hearing that.
Subject to recording and monitoring. To accept charges, press 1. Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Well, what's going on with you, Mr. Celebrity? You're live on YouTube. and I'll give, well, you probably won't get it in one guess, but guess who's actually here watching, listening? Not here in the room with me, but on the stream. It's a family member. I'll give you a hint. Nope. Nope. Benny. I sent out a text like 5 minutes ago to all of them saying, hey, I'm about to go live in 5 minutes. If any one of you can come and, watch it and be one of the people in there, and that way other people will see that. Or if nobody shows up, then at least there'll be someone there. So I launched it about 3 minutes ago just to, make sure I was like live when you called. And all of a sudden I see him, I'm here. I'm like, hey, what's up, Benny? So he is actually driving right now. And I told him, don't be texting while you're driving. So just drive safely. And thank you for joining the podcast. But just to let you know, bro, that I did a little bit of looking into that Bob Ruff thing. And he's working on, what was the case called? The Melgar case. And I'm not sure if now this is a good test if I can switch screens without losing the. Okay, good. So we didn't lose anything. But yeah, because I remember when I called the number, I think I told you. Can you hear me? Okay. Okay, good. Because you're on speakerphone in case people ask questions, and I'll let you know what they ask, and you can answer it, and they can hear it in the microphone. But anyway, on his outgoing message, he talks about, hey, if you're calling with any tips on the Melgar case. And so I looked at a 5-minute clip from his Facebook page, from the group page, I guess it is. And he talked about that they get about 20 submissions a month for cases to look at. And like I said, you've seen probably a whole podcast. I've barely even listened to 3 minutes of it. But so right now they're working on a Melgar case. And so I'm guesstimating that until like they finish that, I don't know if they're going to accept a new case, because I did send, a couple of messages to him and then left a voicemail on his machine. So I was going to kind of keep on him because in the little clip that I saw, I think it was kind of an interview for 2020 or with 2020. And he was talking about, like, he's an ex-firefighter. He goes, I am not, qualified to investigate anything. I'm not qualified to do anything. He goes, but his podcast, I guess, has like 100,000, probably over 100,000 like views. And he's like, oh, we can count on like 150,000, watchers every time we do a podcast, or listeners, however it works. And he says that, he gets the ad revenue for that to pay for everything. He goes, yeah. So he's like, the cases that people put in, he's like, and like I said, you might know this already because you've seen it more than I have, but nobody has to pay anything for him to help because they get all their ad revenue from, I guess, the paid ads and sponsors. And that takes care of all of his people's, paychecks. So no, he seems like a pretty cool guy. I think I just have to kind of like, maybe keep hitting them up once a week saying, hey, don't forget about me. Don't forget about me. And then maybe by the time they're done, they're done with the Melgar case, then maybe they can, look at other cases and stuff. So what's going on with you? Yeah, I appreciate it. Well, I mean, that's kind of part of what this has become. I'll let you know that because, like, I'm working on the business. How should I say this? Since I joined the 5 Ventures, and they're all about. Haven't forgotten about you, Benny. We're just talking. Enjoy the talk. But anyway, with Divide Ventures, they talk about starting a business or just getting jobs. And of course, I already have a job. And so you cannot hear him. Okay, well, right now I'm doing all the talking. Next time he says something, I'll put the phone closer to the microphone for you, Benny. Hopefully you can hear me. And let me know if you can or cannot hear me, but I think my microphone's working. And You are very welcome. Oh yes, the microphone is on. Okay. Um, but anyway, so part of my business, Manny, is that I built a website, and then I had 3 YouTube channels before, and wasn't getting any action on any of them actually, and so I decided, okay, I'm going to focus on one. So I kind of try to shut 2 down. They just sit there, and so I focused on one that had kind of the most content on it, and started making that my one channel. And so over the past month, really, because it's been about 4 episodes, I've been doing one a week. I've grown about 18 subscribers, and I was trying to do like what other YouTubers do, like do a tutorial one day a week and then upload this U-turn show, which I'm trying to like interview just people that have gone through struggles. And that's why I even highlighted your story of what you're doing with your the martial arts classes. And as you get updates on that, then we'll I'll do new episodes on that. Um, but and so the other day I didn't really have any content. And so I was like, you know what? I'll just talk about my story. And so I went to the driveway after I got home from work, pulled the camera out, and I just did like a 9-minute, not a complete thing on me, but basically just talked about, me coming out and the struggles I've done. And since I put that episode up, even my nephew, or one of my nephews in Japan, sent me a message going, Uncle Teddy, he goes, I really like this video. He goes, I think people will really respond because it was sincere. It was just honest, and you weren't trying to be all energized hype like all these other millions of YouTubers. He goes, I think if you do content like this, it'll really stick. And then a girl I know in Boston, who I've interviewed on my Evolution Hollywood, if you remember that show, she left a physical comment going, "Oh my God, I love this story. Thank you for sharing." And so I responded to her through the comment section saying, thank you so much for the kind words. I've got 6 years of stories, so I guess this could be good content. She goes, "Oh, I can't wait to hear it." And so now I'm thinking of doing my weeklies kind of, on my story, on my struggle, and I'm of a certain success right now, but of course I'm going for more. So all this to say that what you just said, hey Ted, maybe you should do your own podcast. It's kind of happening. Every time I hear the word podcast, as far as I know, it's audio only. And so, but if you saw a show that Bob Ruff did and it's video, then I don't know if podcast has 2 different, things. And so for me, it's the YouTube show. And I'm happy to just live stream twice a week or twice a month, unless people start really showing up and asking questions or whatever. And so just so you know, so far we've only got Benny. So Benny, thank you so much for being here to at least have one person here. And I'm 11 minutes into the broadcast, and we're about 8 minutes into your phone call. So I know you only got about 10 or 12, or I forget what. But so no, I think I'm going to be skewing my channel toward this type of content. And then if I can bribe you to call me up every 2 weeks, if I have no one else in the pipeline, if this live thing even works. So I'll try for a month and see if I can get some people interested in coming to this and asking questions. And if not, I don't have to do a live broadcast. But so yeah, I think I'm going to kind of skew the show that way anyway. Yeah, speak as loud as you can, but I'm putting the phone right by the microphone, so you should be able to hear you.
So he can't speak back. He has to text you back.
Yeah, whether he was driving or not, he can type on the screen to say something, and when it comes up on the screen, I will. Then he can hear my response. So, and right now, I'll ask Benny, can you hear Manny?
He has to type that back to you.
Yeah. So go ahead and, like I said, you go ahead and say something or say hi to him or whatever, and we'll see if he can hear you.
What's up, Uncle Manny?
Yeah, he says a little bit, so just speak as loud as you can.
All right. That loud enough?
Well, you got to keep talking for him to hear you.
Is that loud enough? Can you hear me?
When he first said little, and you're talking louder now, I'm sure he'll be able to hear you. So just say whatever you want to say.
Okay, I don't want to say it. Just wait to see what happens.
Okay. And he wrote back, I can. So he can definitely hear you.
So how long are you going to do this for today?
Well, I was going to do our entire conversation. And so, like I said, just if you have anything to ask me or whatever, go for it. And if someone pops up, I'll say, hey, Bill's here and he asked this. And then you can answer the question. But yeah, just for the entire phone call. And then like once you got to go, I'll let you go. Then maybe wrap up the show and hit end stream and stuff like that. So once we finish, this will go to my channel, and then people will be able to watch it after the fact. Because I did 2 tests about 2 nights ago, just because I'd never done a live stream before, and I've seen those get views after the fact. Nobody came while I was doing it because I only did it for like a minute, but then they came afterwards, and I saw them. There's about 5 or 6 people that watched it, and so once this goes to the channel, people can watch it and maybe hopefully, oh, I want to see this next time. And so everybody knows that we're going live again on Sunday the 15th, same time, 9 a.m. Pacific, and then we'll more than likely be talking to my friend Manny again if he's kind enough to call. So, but yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing.
How do you know when somebody's on there?
There's a little screen to my right, and if someone types something in, there's also a little thing that says a number 1, so I know one person's online, which is Benny. So if it becomes 2 or 3 and I see no one typing, I'll know someone's watching it, but they haven't asked a question yet. And so if they type and ask a question, it appears on the screen too.
Okay. All right, well, I'm just sitting here waiting.
As am I. In my mind, I'm like, it's like, should I be surprised if I see like 5 people online? And I was actually hoping to keep it small. And I thought, oh, wait, we have an Alyssa Torres that gives us a thumbs up, or Elise Torres. So we have a second person. Say hi to Elise, Manny.
How you doing? Talking to you.
Well, she typed a thumbs up, and just so you know, Elise, we're at about 11 minutes into this phone call, so Manny may have to go in about 5 whenever it gives us the 1-minute warning. So if you have any questions for Manny, please type it in now so I can let him know.
How do you know where they're from? Do they say where they're from?
Oh, Benny says that's my daughter, so I guess it's Benny's daughter.
Okay. I guess that's my
cousin. So say hi, cousin.
I don't even know who that is, but how you doing, cuz?
Hopefully you can hear him, Elise. And I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. But thanks for joining us, Elise. I was just letting Manny know how I know who's on, and if someone types something, that's when I saw your thumb, and we lost one, so that might either be Benny that's gone or Elise. So we're down to one person, and it looks like, oh, she's saying hello, so maybe Benny had to go, but we'll see.
How they know? Can they hear you? Can they hear us speaking, or does it come out of words on the phone? I mean, I've been down 18 years, so it's kind of, I don't know what the hell's going
on. So you're on the YouTube Live, which is a video broadcast, and so obviously the microphone is picking us up, and Benny's back, which is good. And I think Elise gave us a thumbs up, which is good. She liked the episode. So anyway, so when they're watching it, it's like they're watching a video. They're hearing us, they're hearing you, but the only way they can talk to us is by typing, and then I'll see what they type on the screen and stuff like that.
Oh, all right. So they can hear everything we say, but it goes on their phone. They're listening, but they type in what their comments are.
Exactly.
All right. Okay. Well, I don't know what else do we say. What do you talk about? I mean, you need viewers, right? So let us see this show on what is it, Sunday at 9 p.m. Pacific time.
9 a.m. Pacific.
9 a.m. All right. You're watching the show. You're listening to Manny Pacheco. I've been locked for 18 years for a crime I didn't commit, and we're looking for people to come and join this podcast so that they can speak to me on various occasions where we're looking for help or we're just looking for a conversation. I don't know what else to say. Look up my picture. I'm a beautiful looking man. I don't know. What else do you want to talk? I mean, what else do you want to talk about, Teddy? Let's have a conversation.
Well, Benny's asking, has Manny contacted anyone else to try to help them get out?
Yeah, I gave my mom, tell my mom, Benny, that I gave my mom a whole list of pro bono attorneys, Helen Lewis, which neither one of them has contacted yet, except for my mom. Supposedly, she needs Benny to take her Tuesday to an appointment in Manhattan. I don't know if he got that call yet or if he knows what's going on, because my mom tends to forget to do things. So you need to contact mommy and let her know. I'll ask her what's going on, because I gave it to her last week, a list of attorneys that actually deal with falsely accused individuals in prison.
Okay, cool. He should, yeah. Because why don't you try giving them some little bit of story about what's going on?
Right. Well, 18 years ago, I got accused of a murder of a friend of mine who, when I was 14, I was 15 years old. She was drowned. This happened in 1984. And 18 years later, these detectives came, Detective Kuhn came, and they accused me of this and arrested me of this crime based on the words of an individual that I was having a relationship with at the time that I walked away from. Several different women that I was having a relationship with at the time. Two of them came forward that they know each other. After I left, both of them, they said that I confessed this crime to them. I was arrested, taken in New York. I'll make a long story short. Throughout the last 18 years that I've been locked up, I didn't have the means or the help of the family. There was nobody there for me, pretty much. I was left alone to rot in prison, and I had to do what I had to do to try to find a way to get out of jail. And I found documentation and paperwork that showed that the DA had another or several individuals, but they had the DNA profile of an individual that matched the hair that was found on Angela's the body of the victim, Angela Wong. And since then, my family, my Uncle Benny, my mom, and my brother resurfaced and came to light to help me, which has been a blessing. And we've been trying to find assistance to help me go home, because unfortunately, people that are convicted of a crime, it's very easy to put them in jail. But once you have the proof to show that you're innocent, even with that, it can take years to go home. So I sit in prison, educated myself. I went to school. I got several degrees, a BA in political science. I went on to take law courses here in prison, and I work out every day, and I look great. So we're still trying to find that help. And the Innocence Project is reviewing my case. I had this Innocence Project called Centurion Boulevard, Centurion Ministries. They were handling my case for like 2.5 years, almost 3 years. And then Barry Schreck of the New York Innocence Project finally found my paperwork that I sent 10 years prior, and they said that they would assist me or try to assist me. And since then, they've been, for the last year, reviewing my paperwork, and I walked away from one Innocence Project to stay with this Innocence Project because they're a better organization. And I'm still waiting. But the long story short, I was accused of a crime that I didn't commit. There's DNA that shows that someone else committed this crime. That individual was locked up several times for the rape and attempted murder of an 11-year-old girl, or somewhere around anywhere from 9 to 11. I forget what the age was, but and he went home. And I'm still in prison, 5 parole boards, excellent disciplinary history, and no matter what I do, the parole board doesn't want to let me go home. No matter how much I educate myself, they continue to say no. Yet individuals in prison that have bad disciplinary histories and stab people and don't go to school and do bad things, they let go home. Because they know that it's a revolving door. Those guys are going to come back. They don't want to let people go home that don't do anything wrong in prison. So this is what I'm going through right now.
Awesome, bro. And while you're talking, Benny wrote, "I will take her." And then I think when you made your cute comment, he said, "LOL, laugh out loud." And we got 2 people back on, so maybe that's Elise there again. But I won't know for sure until they type.
I'm not joking about the good looking. I'm 51 years old. I look like I'm 30 years old. I'm a gorgeous looking dude, man. I've always been conceited, but we're going to keep it that way. That's nothing to laugh about. Thank you very
much. And for anybody watching, at the top of the comments, I put the link for the petition, so you can click on there and see this man's handsome face, and also get his address to write him to. You can write him any letter that you want to, letter of support, letter of questions, whatever you want. His address is on that petition.
And then who left out? Benny?
Yes.
Tell Benny, I do resemble him, so he should be laughing because I always look like him.
And then Benny also wrote no changes. I'm not sure what he was referring to with that, but unless he just means that there's nothing changed so far. But no, that was great actually, because I had the mic right up to the microphone, so everybody who's going to watch this after the fact is going to hear all that, Manny. So that's perfect. Oh, Benny goes, "You wish."
Anyway, yes, I mean that's where we're at right now. You understand the battle. You're one of the first people that started helping me with this, and it's more than that. We got a lot of other issues that we're dealing with that I don't really wish to speak about, but it pertains to the same two individuals that made the accusations that I confessed this crime.
Right.
And yeah, we have all the evidence in the world that they're lying about everything that they say, and this is a white world, though. It belongs to a white America, and when you see a Latin man or a black man incarcerated, and a white man incarcerated, and they're all there for the same crime, the white guy tends to walk away with a slap on the wrist, where the black guy and the Hispanic will do 15 to life, 20 to life. I see it all the time. Guys come in here with the same identical crimes, and a white guy gets 3 years, and a Spanish or black guy ends up with 15, 20, 30 years.
Right.
This is greater than just the story about me. This moves on, to the injustices of so many people that are in prison for crimes that I'm not agreeing are right or wrong, but if one comes from the Beverly Hills or from Manhattan, New York, as to the Bronx or from East LA, you tend to hit the person from East LA or out there, Watts, Compton, or whatever. Long Beach, those people get a worse term than somebody that would be that lives in Beverly Hills or Manhattan, or some white person with money.
Right.
And it sucks to say that, but that is what it is. The jails here are predominantly black and Hispanic. The white guys come in and out, and they do commit murders and heinous crimes and sexual crimes, and yet they're hit with slapped on the wrist with I'll give for instance, one guy for murder got 7 years. The same identical type of crime for a Hispanic guy, he got 25 to life.
Mm.
So I mean, this is an ongoing situation. I'm not the only one that has these issues. This is you got 90,000 inmates or 675,000 inmates in New York State, and they say that something like 50% of them should be in prison for the type of crimes that they're or the years that they've been given.
Right.
So I unfortunately the DAs in New York or Nassau County are crooked. They're dirty. They manipulate. The detectives do the same thing. There's tons of paperwork that shows this, and yet they get away with their crimes. They get away with threatening witnesses, like in my case. They get away with not allowing people to testify, like in my case. Several witnesses that were with Angela at the mall, they never got to testify because that changed the time of death. It puts me, they put a time of death that narrowed down to a point of time that I was there, but they don't show that for almost 7 hours she was somewhere else with her friends. So this go on and on and on. The mother lied about a statement she made. This girl, Margaret Mazda, lied about a statement she made, saying that she never said I confessed this crime to her. Yet 18 years later, after Detective Kuhn, this Detective White detective threatened or went to see her, she says that I did confess this. Right. Tony Wong, the mother of Angela Wong, changed her statement so that it would meet the crime. It would put an hour in time frame where I was with Angela at the time where they claimed that I had drowned Angela. And it's insane because if you look at all the evidence, you'll see that there's no possible way that I committed this crime. It's impossible for me to have been the one to commit this crime. I was with her brother, my brother, some friends of ours at a roller rink, roller skating at the time of this crime. she was with other people, and not one or two or three. We're talking that almost 2 dozen people know her and knew her and spoke to her and saw her that day. So but this is what it is. This is that we have to find somebody that's going to listen to the story and that they're going to understand what's going on. I mean, I've got family out there. I didn't even know I had a cousin that's on there right now. I don't even know her. I've got family out there that I've been lost to for 18 years because I've been in prison. And this is my point. My point is that you lose your family when you come to jail. Out of mind, out of sight, out of mind. And that's the sad part, that the people that do go home are the people that have people there for them that fight and don't give up and get this paperwork and do what they're supposed to do for the people they love. But I can't say that I was the most loved person in my family. I left to go to California to be away from everybody, so I can't blame nobody but myself. But at the end of the day, the injustices, go far beyond just the fact that I was convicted of a crime. It goes, way further than that. I'm just a small story, man. I'm a pebble in the pond.
Gotcha. And we just had someone else log on, but they haven't typed anything, so I'm not sure who they are. But we got 3 people online. And yeah, maybe. But no, that was great, bro. And like I said, and I mean, I thank you for everything that you said, because like I said, once we finish this live stream and it gets posted, other people that'll get to watch it afterwards will be able to hear all that. And I'll even be able to send this link to, news organizations. I'm going to send this link to Bob Ruff. So everything that you're saying is going to get heard after the fact. And, I think this is going to be another way for us to maybe get you some help.
Well, I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to say this just because you're recording this. I don't care about who's listening or who hears what I'm going to say. I've been asked several times at parole board and pretty much told in some form or shape or fashion that if I turn around and just apologize for this, I can go home. I've done an extra 9 years on a 9 to life, and I refuse to say that I'm sorry for something I didn't do. I said this right after trial to the media. I have no remorse for the death of Angela Wong because I didn't commit that death. The remorse I feel is that a friend died and that I wasn't there for that friend, that I didn't go with that friend when she asked me to. But I'm not going to apologize for something I didn't do. Right. And I'm going to stay in jail another 10 years. I stay in jail another 10 years. I will never say that I did this because I did. I lived with this for 18 years when I was in the streets because I blame myself because I had not gone with her. I truly believe that had I went with her, she'd be alive today. But I didn't go with her. And her brother was the one that left the house with her. And I don't believe that he committed this crime either. Because, again, she was seen at the mall by other people. But the bottom line is that I'll stay in jail, bro. And although I hate prison and I put my mother through hell, and God bless my mother because she's been through everything and some. And this last 2 years with me, I put her through hell, and she's endured and she's sick. As much as I want to be there and go home and be with her and take care of my mom the way a child should do, take care of their family and take care of their mother, like my sister and brother don't do, I would rather die in prison than to say I did this. My mom asked me once, why don't you just say you did it, come home? They give the parole board what they want. I would rather my mother die in the streets without me being there than to admit to doing this when I didn't do this.
Exactly.
And although I want to go home trying to be there for her, I can't do that. I can't say I did this. I didn't do this.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something. I'll say it straight up. I don't care. My brother and everybody, whoever thought, they must have thought I was guilty of this because up until I got the DNA reports, nobody was really there for me. And now they're there for me, and I'm blessed, and I appreciate them being there for me. But if people were there for me,
you have 1 minute left.
18 years ago, I may have been home already instead of just forgetting about me.
And just so you know, a New York City Manny type, this is not right. And but since we have our last minute, I'll let you end this and talk about whatever you want to talk about.
New York, what? I'm gonna call you right back.
Okay. All right, everybody. hang on, because he's calling back. And so if you're watching, he's going to call right back. And if you have any other questions or whatever, you'll be able to talk to him. So we're going to go ahead and continue this live stream. It's going to end up being a long one, but I don't want to end this and start a new one because I know he'll call back pretty quick. But thank you all for joining in, whoever the four are. Thank you, New York City Manny, NYC Manny, and Manny Pacheco. At the top of this text string, you'll see here he is.
This is a prepaid collect call from
You'll see a link to his, and welcome number 5, whoever you are.
New York State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision. This call is
We're getting a
subject to
second phone
recording
call.
and monitoring to accept charges. Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
All right, buddy, just so you know, we now have 5 people watching. One is named NYC Manny. He had typed, "This is not right." I let them know that you were going to call back. Oh, that's Benny's son, I guess. Okay. So I guess another cousin of yours. And so go ahead and say whatever you were saying, bro. You got about 4 people watching.
Well, first I'm going to say hello to my cousin. I didn't know I had a cousin named Manny, but I guess my Uncle Benny's got a few kids out there I don't know about. But I heard that, all his kids are great kids, and they've all grown up to do good things. So my uncle's a good father. So hello to my cousin Manny, and sad that we had to hear your voice or hear of you to this. But anyway, so where was I going with this?
You were talking about the apple pie recipe.
How great looking I am. All right, so I'm 5'8". I'm 5'8", I'm 178 pounds. I got a beautiful body. And I'm a virgin of 17 years. Congratulations. No, but the thing is, it's hard to even have a sense of humor in here, man.
Oh, I hear you.
The part of prison is, this is a holiday inn compared to other jails like Los Angeles when I was coming out here. That's hell compared to this.
I can imagine.
New York is a holiday inn. The thing is they take your family away from you. You don't have, don't have connection with the people that are in your life that's outside. That's the torture of being a prison. Not having your mother in your life. My Uncle Benny. Even my brother, because 17 years or 18 years gone by, for 17 years I didn't know nothing about him. He didn't want to know nothing about him.
Elise wrote and said, "Hi, Manny, Damaris here."
I don't know who that is, but
Well, that was Elise, the one that's I guess that's one of your cousins, one of Benny's daughters.
It's another daughter.
Well, I think it's the same Elise that said hi earlier, but maybe she. And Benny says, "The marriage, my wife, Benny's."
All right. So I said, "Hello, how you doing, sweetie?" It's sad, man. It's a waste of a great-looking dude in jail, man. I could be out there fucking. It's a waste. I'm in here working out for all these men to check me out. It's crazy, bro.
Oh, Benny says Damaris is his wife, so that's what I was saying.
I know who Damaris is.
Okay.
I've known Damaris my whole, for forever. I was there from the beginning. Uncle forget. I know Damaris from the first day he took me to our house to see her. But yeah, Teddy, it's insane, bro. For the incarceration and the way they do things here and the illegal things that go on in prison. I'm not gonna say much on this broadcast, but you're not worried or being endangered by other inmates. You got to worry about other entities in prison that put you in harm's way. And it's crazy because a lot of guys can handle being in jail because they committed the crime.
Right.
They figure, yeah, you know what, I did it, I'm going to do the years. But do 20 years or 18 years, a double sentence for something you didn't do. Nobody in their God's, in their right mind could understand the torture or the pain or the suffering that I go through every day. We'll go to my cell and a little box, no bigger than the average bathroom in the Bronx. or in New York City, and I sit in this bathroom room that I sleep in every single day, roach infested. You know, we have no control over what goes on. We go to sleep when they tell us to go to sleep. We wake up when they tell us to wake up. And I do this. I did this for 18 years. No comfort of family or the comfort of a woman in your arms, or waking up in the morning and seeing the kids run around, or there's nothing. It's just a blank walls with bars in front of you, steel, cold. And when you're in jail for something you didn't do, 18 years, the average person would lose their mind. I keep busy, working out and training and trying to look the best that I can, so that when I do go home, hopefully women will fall to their feet and pray. No, but for real, this is torture, bro, because I didn't commit the crime.
Right.
That's the insanity behind it. So for whatever reason, God has his plans. He has his plans. But I didn't commit this crime. And all the evidence is in the paperwork. And all these people that go on the internet and all these people that are speaking badly about me and saying what they're saying, you talk from ignorance. You speak. And I learned a long time ago in prison, there's a saying that just listen to people and you'll find out the truth. Everything. People reveal themselves by listening to them.
Right.
They'll tell you everything you want to know about them. Yet these people out there in that internet world are sitting there typing in that I'm guilty and that I should stay in prison forever, and they're talking from their asses because they have no inclination or clue of what's really going on. They didn't sit down and read thousands of paperwork, every little detail. Yuri Rojas, this kid that knew Angela had jelly sandal slippers. How did he know that? Why? Because he was at the mall with her that day.
Right.
That's how he knew what she was wearing on her feet. And if you know about this case, you would know they found those slippers away from her body. So how would Yuri Rojas, who didn't see her that whole day, according to the police, he said he saw her at the mall and remembered because of her slippers. So these are details that if you listen to, you'll see the truth.
Right.
But yet they didn't allow that to be heard. They allowed this guy Yuri Rojas to come in with an attorney and say, I don't remember nothing. And all these little things that these people out there want to say, oh, this man is guilty. And then I say to all you people out there that are listening or listen to this, and you keep saying I'm guilty, stop for a minute. Stop and stop trying to always implicate somebody for something because you're listening to other people. And have your own sense of intelligence and mind, and go research if you really want to accuse me of something. Research it first.
Right.
Don't sign a paper saying you want to deny me my parole, but you don't have no clue what happened in my case. You only listen to the media. You listen to a mother who's grieving, who lost her daughter, who just wanted to close this case.
Exactly.
That's all they wanted. And her father, Angela's father, who never cared about his daughter in the first place and was never around. And now all of a sudden my daughter's dead, and oh my God, he did this. No. You do the homework, read the paperwork.
Right.
Angela Long's a piece of shit. The brother's Victor's a piece of shit. He raised my son, and he's a piece of shit. You got to understand that he lied. He's a friend of my family, my brother's, and he wouldn't understand that he lied.
And real quick, we got 5 people watching. They may all be family, but if you go to the top of this text string, you'll see the link for Manny's petition online, so you can go see him. His address is there. You can write him support letters, whatever you want. But yeah, go ahead and check that out if you haven't done that yet. Keep going, Manny.
I know that picture's like a year old. I look a hell of a lot better now. Man, tell you, it's just saying, man, I can go on and on and on. They changed the medical report. They changed the time of death. They changed the contents of the autopsy pertaining to what Angela had eaten the day before, because the mother wanted to make it look like she cooked for her daughter. Yet in her first testimony, her first statement, she said, I never cooked. And that makes it's a big deal, because Angela was at the mall with 3, I believe, other girls that were eating at a food court at Busy Bee Mall at 6:30 in the evening, which showed that she was eating rice and chicken and potatoes, and that's what they found in her stomach. And the mother, 18 years later, changes her statement and says, oh, I cooked rice and potatoes and chicken the night before. So, this is the underhanded things they did to make so that we didn't have to show that Angela made it to the mall. And they kept it where she was at home at a certain time. This girl, Margaret Maza, who claimed that I confessed this at a pizza store. Her best friend that was with her was supposed to come and testify on my behalf that Margaret lied. And I never said that. Well, that girl turned around and never showed up to trial.
Right.
During trial, the DA says, hey, she went on vacation. Wait a minute, we subpoenaed her to come to court. How did she go on vacation? So there was things we could refute and argue against because the DA's underhandedness and the judge, wow, this guy's a clown. This judge did everything in their favor. And my lawyer, Thomas Liotti, he's a fucking moron. Excuse my language, but he's an idiot. He's a real down-to-earth jerk. I personally think that, you know, him and the judge had a personal relationship going on the way they jerked me over.
Right.
You know, they bent me over and did what they wanted to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and here's a lawyer I didn't want. That I told my family he's a clown, and he did. The guy had no idea, or he did have an idea what was going on, and he did everything to help the DA. I mean, if you read the minutes of my case, what happened? They wouldn't let Dayline. Dayline wanted to film the case. They denied Dayline that right to go in there and film the case. Why? Because I believe they had every intention to railroad me. But you know what? The people that listen to this say, "Oh, you know, he's just another person complaining." No, I'm not. Do the homework. If you really want to justifiably get online or and say that I'm a murderer and say all this bad shit about me, read my paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
I'll send it all to you. And if you find me guilty, listen, man, I'll never ask the roll board to let me go home again. Because there's nothing in that paperwork that will ever be able to say I was guilty. These were very distraught women, you know, and two white, blonde hair, blue-eyed women, you know, Romanian and Irish and German women that I was with, that were very upset that I walked away from them. And they said a lot of bad things.
Right.
And accused me of a lot of bad things. And I've never had my day in court. Never.
Well, that's awesome, bro. And you got 6 people watching now. No new questions yet, but I want to thank everybody for being here. This is Manny had to call in a second time because he ran out of phone time the first time. But you know, any questions you have, type them in there. Manny's going to be happy to answer them. If you go to the top of the text string, like I said, there's a link there for his petition online. You can go see what it looks like, see his address. You can write him support letters, stuff like that. Share the stream while we're here live with anybody so they can come in check it out. And I will hand it back over to Manny for him to keep talking.
So you don't know who the 6th person is now?
No, there's one person. He has some weird moniker. It's like DRIHPYX, and he just sent like praying hands. And he appeared kind of when we went to 5 and 6 viewers. So I'm not sure if he's family or just someone who saw the live streaming.
All right, well, tell him welcome and how you doing? Anyways, I mean, this is I mean, Teddy, we've been friends a long time, you and me, man. Mm-hmm. And all the time you've known me, I've always been one type of person, and that's just I'm a straight up type of individual.
A jerk.
And you know what? I think that's undermining who I am. I'm an asshole, but I'm real about what I say and what I do,
mm-hmm.
and I don't mind being that asshole that everybody says that I am because I say it the way it is.
Exactly.
Whether it's my mother I'm talking to or whether it's my uncle I'm speaking to, I don't sugarcoat shit. I say it as it is.
Exactly.
And I didn't commit this crime. And you're either going to love me for the way I am because I'm honest or not. And in prison, you go by your word. And more so than in the streets, because everybody lies to each other in the streets.
Right.
I know this firsthand because my own family lied to me for 17 years. They weren't there the way they should have been. And I hate saying it like that, but it's what it is.
I hear you.
At the end of the day, though, I didn't commit this crime, and it took 17 years for me to get certain documentation that would have to prove it to my own family. So I understand why people in the street would think that I'm guilty. Because they don't want to. People don't want to hear the truth. They don't want. They rather just. You know what? That's not my problem. He's guilty. He's good. He's in jail. When your own family does that, you know, I can relate to why the strangers do that.
Right.
But that's like I said. I'm a straight up shooter. It is what it is. Take my paperwork. Read everything. I'm like, listen. It costs me or my family, it costs my mom and my Uncle Benny an excess amount of dollars to have to copy these papers. I'm sure they don't have a problem. Or you, Teddy. you have that computer way of sending information where you can send these people that information and show them
Of course.
that before you open your mouth, read. It's very easy for a person to accuse a person here in America of a crime, especially a woman. The power that women possess over people are insane. All they have to do is rip their shirt and say, that man did something to me. And he's in jail.
Exactly.
That's it. And this is what I went through. Two attractive women said, hey, he said he did this, and that's all it took.
Yep.
And yet they had individuals that confessed to this crime. And yet one of the greatest detectives in Nassau County never found me guilty. A new detective comes into the case, a racist, then you can tell this guy is racist, neo-Nazi fuck. He turns around and takes the case, and that was a wrap.
Right.
Everyone changed their statements. How does 40 different people, after Detective Cool visits them, change their statements?
That's
and,
it.
and this is what happened.
Yeah.
And so people, before they accuse, read. You got all these people putting millions of dollars into dogs and crap out there that, put money into people that want to go home to their families that didn't commit these crimes.
Right.
At the end of the day, like I said, Teddy, you can look at the paperwork. It speaks for itself. I can go on and on and on. All the misjustice in the world, but nobody's going to listen to you, Teddy, me, or my family because they don't want to take the time to read.
Right, right.
The media, they turn around and if there's, okay, this guy didn't commit this crime, but, he might be guilty of this, so we're not going to help him with this.
Right.
And the Innocence Projects do the same thing. Well, they're saying he did this over here, and, we can help him here, but there's just too much here. We don't want to deal with it.
Right.
And the sad part about it is that, in my case, we both know that on both ends, with both these girls in California, in New York, accused me of things that I didn't do. Mm-hmm. There's no evidence, DNA, proof of anything. There's DNA here in New York that says someone else did it.
Right.
For God's sake, they found a pubic hair in her vagina, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's not mine. They found blood and skin in her fingernails. It's not mine.
Exactly.
I had no bruises or marks on me. Abraham Reyes, this other character, he had bruises and scratches all over his body. He couldn't tell where those came from. He told the detective he didn't know where they came from.
Amazing.
You got a guy, Benny Reyes, Abraham Reyes' brother, who was in the woods getting high with another guy. I forget his name, and he said, we were so high, we don't remember what we did that night. And a guy named Tom McDowell who raped 30 kids in two different neighborhoods, who was 20-something years old, 26 years old, hanging out with 13-year-old, 14-year-old kids in my town, around my corner, raped my next-door neighbor who told my mother, and they had this man arrested. And he went to the detectives and said, I didn't commit this crime. Yet he was charged with multiple molestations of kids.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a whole bunch of individuals in this case, years later, been arrested for sexual assault and raping little girls in the back of vans, and nothing's ever happened to them. They got in trouble for those charges, but yet these detectives came after me, and I have no criminal history. Well, now I do.
Right, thanks to them. Hello.
What I was doing, I was hanging out in gyms, working out, going to work, lifting weights, and taking steroids. That was my crime.
Right.
This was my crime. I even got convicted of sales of steroids because we were in gyms, not on the streets getting high, not doing coke and heroin and marijuana. I was lifting weights, getting high, and training in the martial arts gyms. What else? I mean, it's insane and nonsense that goes on. What they said about me, and yet there's all this evidence that shows I didn't do it. But 18 years later, I'm still here in jail, bro.
And I got to tell you, we've had 6 people as the high mark, and even Benny said that one of them is not family, so we got someone just watching, and they're all riveted to you because I just had the phone going while you're going, and like I'll see one drop off, come back on. So I mean, your story is super riveting, and everyone who's watching, like I said, share this anywhere you can. This was supposed to be a 10 to 15 minute broadcast. We're almost at an hour because Manny had to call back, and so just thank you all for making this happen today. I hope you come back in 2 weeks. And someone is asking, hi, Manny, it's Alana, Benny's daughter. It's Amia Shampayo is the thing she's coming through.
I said, another cousin I don't know about. How you doing, sweetie? I mean, you know what, Teddy, it's sad. I don't even know my family, bro. I mean, it's sad. If I was guilty, man, when they throw the key away, they should have castrated me. They should have took my life from me. They should have did everything in their power to make sure that I died. But what they're doing is slowly killing me in prison for a crime I didn't commit. Yet all the evidence shows that I'm innocent, and that's wrong, man. That's wrong. 18 years I suffered, blamed myself for not being there for Angela, for not going with her to the mall. I truly, in my heart, believe that that morning she asked me to go with her, had I gone with her instead of wanting to go home and take a goddamn shower, she'd be alive. So I suffered with that thought because I felt like, you know what, my friend died because I wasn't there for her.
Right.
And now here I am 18 years after the fact, because in 2001, at the end of beginning of 2002, I was arrested for her murder. And yet the people who lied, Raluca Yoshilescu, who lied on the stand, Maureen Gahagan, who lied on the stand, Margaret Mazza, who lied on the stand, all these girls I had, intimate relationships with, except for Margaret Mazza. She liked me, and she was a year older than me in school. And I didn't want nothing to do with her. She wasn't my type. And 18 years later, she's on the stand. And when they asked her, did you ever get married? She says, yeah, I got my best friend is my husband. They said, did you tell your husband that this person, Manny Pacheco, admitted to killing Angela and said he was going to kill you? She said, no. Now, who in their right goddamn mind knows someone who murdered somebody but never told their husband or their wife? Does that make any sense?
I hear you.
I mean, I've shared very intimate things with my wife, or at the time my wife, Milagro Matos, and you know what? She knows very intimate things about me, but I never told her I killed anybody. So, this girl Margaret Mazza, she never told her husband this. 18 years goes by, she never mentions it to him. Come on, man.
Right.
This is not rocket science, people. This is not rocket science. This is simple mathematics. 1 and 1 is 2. It's really simple. Either I committed this crime and all the evidence shows I did it, or all the evidence shows I didn't do and I didn't commit the crime. And all the evidence shows I didn't do it. You got multiple people here that admitted to this crime.
Mm-hmm. No, earlier Benny had written, you were railroaded. He says, you didn't get a fair trial. You need to speak on that. I know you've already kind of spoken that anyway, but no, it's true. You just did not get a fair trial.
I say that again, please.
That you just did not get a fair trial. I know you've spoken on that briefly, but that's one of the comments. Benny said, hey, you didn't get a free trial. Make sure you speak on that.
No, and the thing is, all you got to do is look at the minutes.
Yeah.
Look at the minutes, man. And the minutes are public information. And what's not public, as if they can't get it through the national county courts, they can go ahead and contact my family.
Mm-hmm.
And they can get that information that way. Or they can contact me. I have no problem with having people contact me like this. I would love to speak to people. I don't get mail. I don't have no friends. I have no women in my life. I have no guys in my life other than you, Teddy.
And just so you know, Alana just wrote, I'm good. Keep your head up. I hope everything works in your favor. I went to your trial when I was a teenager, and there were things that I didn't like that happened.
All right. I still don't remember her. Sorry, sweetie. I don't. You know what? A lot of years have gone by, and either way, I love you. You're my cousin. You're my favorite uncle's daughter, and thank you for your support, sweetie. I appreciate it. I don't know, Teddy, man. I don't. You know what? Just people can read, man, and they can see for themselves what's going on. I just ask people out there, whoever hears this, just don't judge me based on other people or what you hear. Read, man. Educate yourself, man. Mm-hmm. And if you don't care enough to read and find out if I'm innocent, then don't care enough to comment. Just keep your mouth shut.
Right.
I got these famous words. I'm not going to say them, but Teddy will start laughing if I said them. But without saying those specific words, it's like, yo, mind your business if you're not gonna be making your business.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not gonna make it your business, mind your business. If you're gonna make it your business, do everything in your power to find out the truth.
Exactly.
Or just mind your business.
And
that being,
everybody watching, if you go to Facebook, look up Bob Ruff, and I think it's called Truth and Justice by Bob Ruff. He's got a podcast. I've sent him a couple messages with the petition information, stuff like that. So, all of you can go there, tell your friends to go there, because if we can contact this man, it may be another person who might be able to eventually look into Manny's case and work on stuff. And even though we've got a few avenues that we're working on, we want to get as many as we can. And so, go ahead, keep on going, Manny.
Well, I wish somebody would ask me a question I could
answer. I know everyone's being very quiet. Well, I think it's just because you're so engrossing. Because like I said, I've been holding the microphone of the phone to the microphone of this live cam, and everything you've been saying, they just, I keep seeing the numbers go 6, 5, 4, 5, 6. People are either getting knocked off the stream and then coming back on. So you've been very engrossing with whatever you're talking about. So just, you've been talking from your heart, talking, just, and people love it. So they don't even know what to ask because you're giving them all this information. So I think it's working out great. We're almost at an hour live stream here, and I only meant this to be a 10 or 15 minutes. So I want to thank everybody here who's hanging on. And, definitely if you have a specific question, type it up there. And I'm hoping the show, can help Manny. And I'm actually glad I decided to do this, or it's come out this way, Manny, because like I said, this is more content that I can help share around to, hopefully get you some more help.
I'll tell you the one thing I've learned more so about anything in this world, man, is how important family is. That I realized I lacked on that a lot when I was in the streets. Cared just about myself and my own needs, I guess. But now I realize the importance of having family and the importance of having love in your life and to have somebody to care about and to be a good son to my mother, or a good nephew to my uncles. You get to that point, this point in age, that you realize these things. I guess in one way I'm blessed because I still look like I'm 30, and I still have a phenomenal shape, and I work out and I train when I'm not sick, and I don't have no back problems or head problems. My family, they tell me how my brother's got issues with his back, or my mom with her head and her memory, or everybody's got issues right now, and I don't. And I guess in one way I'm truly blessed. I don't have the poisons of the outside to affect me in a way that they do. That everyday life, that grind and hustle. So I'm one way I'm blessed because I don't have that kind of stress in my life. But I would rather have my family in my life and have those issues than to be in jail and have nobody and be healthy for a crime I didn't commit. So my big thing right now is I just want to go home and be a part of my uncle's life, or be with my mom and take care of her. I can't say that I'm going to forgive everybody for not being there, because there are some people I'm not going to mention that I care less, because sometimes you can't say you're sorry. And this is the sad part about not being guilty when you're in jail. You have to suffer those feelings as well. When you're guilty of something, you say, well, I did it, so if my family's not there, or people don't believe me, or people talk bad about me, I should say, I understand that, because if you did the crime, that's what you're going to do. That's what dudes do in here every day. They justify what they did.
Mm-hmm.
Ask this person, I committed this crime. They don't want to be in my life. I don't care. Right. But when you didn't commit the crime, and you're not there for your family, and they're not there for you the way they should be, or the way you feel they should be, this is torture. This is torture. I wake up every morning, and I can honestly say this, 18 years, I wake up every freaking morning, and I go to bed every night with tears in my eyes. I'm a grown man, and if you see me, I'm not, I don't look like a timid individual. And I carry myself in the way you're supposed to carry yourself in jail. Your head up and ready to move.
Right.
Yet I wake up every morning with tears. And yet every night I gotta close my eyes and I have those tears in my eyes and I think about everything I lost and the shit that's said about me. Incredible, bro.
Right.
So, you know, I deal with it, man.
You have 1 minute left.
Anyways, listen, I got a minute left. I'm not gonna go back. Thanks. I thank everybody for calling, bro. And my family. It's nice to meet cousins I didn't know I had. I'll get in touch with you, Teddy, next, sometime during the week.
You got it, buddy. Thank you so much for everything. I'm gonna let.
Teddy, I love you to death, bro. Thank you very much.
All right, bud. Love you.
All right.
Bye.
Tell my family I love them.
You got it.
The caller has hung up.
Well, everybody, thank you. And I see people already logging out. Yeah, we're going to end this live stream. And so for anybody who's still left, like I said, go to the top, click the petition. You can go sign the petition. Sign the petition is not really going to help, but his address is there. Write him some letters. Tell him that you love him. Tell him that you're supporting him. Share this stream with everyone you know. Send it to all your friends, all the extra family, any strangers you know. Share this stream once it, I'm going to hit the end stream and then it'll become a link sometime. But share it with everybody. We want to get this information out. It'll also help grow my channel because I'm trying to help people through my channel. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much. We're at an hour 4. This is way longer than I ever thought this stream would go. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Click like, share it, subscribe, all that great stuff. Benny, oh, you're welcome, Benny. I do what I can. Love Manny, love you guys, and Alana and little Manny and all the family from that's been watching. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you back in 2 weeks. I think it's gonna be Sunday the 15th that we're gonna do this again. I'm gonna have Manny calling again because right now he's the only one who's gonna call. Anyway, let you guys go. Love you all. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you next time.